Good evening, everybody. It's 9:05 p.m. It's Wednesday night. Must be time for What's on Joe Mind. We're a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. We are preempting Atlanta Braves baseball tonight because they suck.
Look at the standings, folks. It's not
right. This is not a statement by me against the Atlanta Braves. It just facts is facts, right? They're terrible.
It's just math.
It is just math. They are so far under 500 that I've stopped doing it.
Yeah. Fractions.
Right. Like they have so many pitchers on the injured list that I am scheduled to start on Friday.
I know I'm starting Friday. You must be.
Oh, my bad. I must have Saturday then. But we'll see if we can hold up more than 3 or 4. I doubt it myself. I doubt it. But, joining me here in the top row, he is the venerable, beleaguered older brother of What's on Joe Mind. It's rack time, Rob.
Hi, everybody. It's a great week. Friday, everybody went home healthy. Monday, everybody showed up with some form of a cold, including me. So I don't know what happened this weekend.
So there we go. There's Bart busting out his 80s sitcom of the week there. I paused. Give me a break to be here. All right. Good to know we stack up with the great Nell Carter.
Yeah.
And then our special guest this week, you know him as Zedek Toys. We've seen several of his projects over the years. Chad LaForce back on the program, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Chad.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me back. Super glad to be here. How are you?
Hey, no worries, man. We gave some space after that last project unfortunately did not work out, but we're here to talk about the next one. Hope Springs Eternal.
It does.
We'll get more into that later. But what else you got going on besides that? How you been?
Doing good. Living the dream. Moved from Michigan down to Texas. It's roughly 400 degrees every day, 11 months of the year. So, grew the hair out, got a beard, and embraced my old man energy. You know what I'm saying?
So if you're moving to someplace that's so much warmer, why are you increasing your hair?
Yeah, my wife said you should grow your hair.
All right. Well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Is this some revenge thing on her part? Does she have longer hair?
She does have really long hair. Yeah, and I won't let her cut it. So she's like, what about you? You know?
Yeah. I'm not going to be the only one to stew in my own juices.
Right. She is very, very subtly and very thoughtfully getting you to rethink your position on things.
Yes.
I'm just
all
saying.
in an effort to allow her to cut it off, apparently.
I mean, just maybe just trim up a little bit. Maybe just a shorter.
Yeah.
I mean, the threshold for long for us dudes is different than it is for the ladies by societal standards. So, I'm just saying, maybe we relax a little bit because it's 400 degrees.
She's going to watch this. She's at work right now. She's going to watch it tomorrow. So she'll text me like, listen. And so now you're backed into a corner. And what will I do? I'll go, okay. All right. Mike said.
That's why I'm here. I'm here for marital strife.
Appreciate that. This can go a long way.
This episode of Marital Strife brought to you by What's on Joe Mind.
Joe Fan 84.
What's on Joe Mind, where you want to live alone.
If you're here, you probably do. Anyways, Joe Fan 84. Yeah, 400 degrees here is a nice fall day.
Yeah, Doug up there, he says this summer was very mild as Texas summers go. It's actually what I've been told. It is hot, but it's not hot like it could be in August in Texas. So
look, man, it's August, right? And Indiana is normally not the best place to be in August. It's no Texas, granted. It's apples and oranges. So I'm certainly not trying to get in a competition. But this is the third time this August, this morning, when I went out, that I put on a sweatshirt. And that makes no sense to me.
I know that's just since we had, really just since yesterday, because really for most of August, of course, as school started ridiculously early for us and the air conditioning is not working, they made sure we were nice and armpit hot.
Right. But beginning of the month, we had a few days where it was high 60s, low 70s. I put the hoodie on.
Yeah.
And today was another one of those days.
And then as soon as Rob had to go back to work in his unair-conditioned classroom, it got hot again.
Right. Well, you can stank with the rest of them.
Ugh.
Andrew's in the comments blaming it on the weather dominator, which I think is probably legit, in terms of what's been happening. A little Cobra.
Yeah, there's Doug Dello. Hate to tell you, this summer was mild as Texas summers go. He's a southwestern guy. He knows.
Yeah. The armadillos were not bursting into flames on the road spontaneously.
Yeah, there's Andrew Gaugen. Weather dominator fire. It's been fired up all year, man. All year. It was a mess. The whole freaking year. Gene Fleming checking in on hair length. Anything over an inch is too long and takes too long to dry.
I don't know. Beta Ray Bob had my back up there. He said there's nothing wrong with long hair. Like, let it grow. So the chat can just fist fight about it if they want.
There you go.
We feed on their chaos as well, so it's fun. It's really
Michael Gene Fleming's got marine genes in him, so
he does. He does. He's
it's
son of Gunny.
So.
Okay, I'm not trying to argue with that. So.
It's son of Gunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there, Beta Ray Bob won't be hoodie or sweater weather here till December. Look, it's normally that way here too. It's just. Granted, I'm the type that doesn't get cold very, very easily, so I am the last guy out there with short sleeves. But it was such a swing down to the high 60s this morning that I was actually kind of cold. Job along in Toy City, same here, Bob. No long sleeves or pants till December. I'm with you, man. If I can avoid long pants and sleeves the entire year, I'll do it.
Well, I'm from Michigan, so I've always kind of been like a cardigan and jeans guy, but you ain't getting away with that down here in coastal Texas.
You'll be on fire with the armadillos.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
No,
you step outside and you go, can't I just take all of this off? Like, will the police come? And some people do. I've driven down the road in this city, and I'm like, oh, there they go. They got
right.
There they are.
There they go. True story. More than once, my first week down here, I was like, is that? Oh, all right.
All right, then.
Okay.
All right.
So
I understand you're hot, but you should have something there, buddy.
What spurred that on, man? Why would you move across country like that? What it was a job thing, or?
She wouldn't move to me. She said it sounds cold up there.
Well,
look, she's right. Okay.
Yeah. She's right.
So. She's correct.
Yeah.
For all the complaining about heat, I'd rather have that than the cold. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I got air conditioning.
Yeah, there you go.
At least here. They fixed it in the classroom, though, so I'm good there, too.
The 610 Yojo Daddy with great advice for everyone. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Smash that like button and subscribe. Replay Squad. There you go. Welcome to the show, because I don't think I've seen that name before. I would remember a 6'10" Yojo Daddy.
Yeah, it'd be tough to miss a 6'10" guy.
Right? But
that's a big daddy.
Yeah, and he's got big advice, and we need to get big thumbs up numbers, because you guys have kind of been slacking on that the last few weeks. What's up with that?
Smash that like. Do it right now. Why wait? It's there.
Right. It's free. Remember, it's free.
Free to smash.
Doesn't cost you anything. We're going to talk about having money, throwing money in places for a couple hours. You might as well do the free thing.
Do the free stuff now.
Right. Bart says, for once, I'm not the tall guy at 6'6". That's right, man. This is
You're still a tall guy. You just might not be the tall guy, but take it from 5'9". You're a tall guy at 6'6".
Right, man. I mean, this we have the reputation. This is a burly podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like the honcho when he's around is 6'3". Rob and I are both over 6 feet tall.
Oh.
I'm built huge. Rob is like our little guy, and he's built pretty big. And the honcho he's a world champion wrestler.
He always has been, actually. I'm told since like second grade or something.
Joe Colton, when she was with us, is 5'9". So it's
bring Joe back.
Look, I would, but she has this child attached to her that takes up a lot of time.
I knew that was going to go that way.
And
I mean, we said, bring the child on. We don't care, but we're the wrong element. So
she said, no, you guys are not talking to my kid. That's what she said. I don't want her there. Not one.
We're, as you would politely call, unsavory.
Vagon says, "Yikes! 5'5". You're monsters." We are. We are. We are perhaps the most intimidating of GI Joe podcasts.
I know, Mike. Up there, Diana Davis said it was 93 degrees today. Tomorrow's going to be 98. Is she Texas too? Like, how many Texas people are in the chat?
She's Los Angeles.
She's Los Angeles. She is Southern California.
Same thing. Yeah. Yep.
So hers isn't quite as humid, but it's at least twice as smoggy.
Ah, the smog. Right? Yeah.
And let me tell you, the heat really comes off the blacktop when you're stuck on the 405.
Phil Donnelly just gently pressed the like button, which I suppose we will let stand.
Okay. Oh, he's a dainty fellow.
He just very bing, bing. He will not smash the like button. He will daintily, oh so lightly touch the like, but it still counts the same, so that's fine.
Yeah. You can depress it as gently as you want.
Yes. Some keyboards are, and computers are hardier than others. So.
Andrew Goggin says the San Fernando and surrounding blast furnace is all fired up.
Oh boy, no forest fires this year. Hopefully they haven't been dealing with a lot of that.
Diana says it's dry heat. The smog is better these days. The 405 is never good. So there you go. Right. Fair enough.
For God's sakes, they had forest fires on Long Island this year. It was like, what the hell?
Man.
BQ King says San Antonio. So we have some Texas people that showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're popular in those parts for some reason.
G.I. Joe? I mean, because the What's on Joe Mind podcast.
We get a lot of folks from the southern part of these here United States, and then several Swedes.
They're allowed to come too.
Absolutely.
We're not going to hear them talk about heat, though.
Yeah, no.
Nah. Danishes, I don't know, crumpets. Right. What's whatever they're, whatever that better bread they're having over there. Let's talk about that.
Fjords.
Ooh,
they're pining for the fjords.
Crispy.
Oh, those are more of a Norwegian thing.
Something like that. Close, same thing, right? I shouldn't say that out loud. I'm going to drive away our few Swedes.
Yeah.
We love you, Swedes, whatever you're eating. We're sorry we got it wrong.
I apologize for not knowing anything about Sweden.
Hey, Olympic hockey power. So anyway.
But yeah, what do you say? We've wasted enough of the world's time. Let's get to the news.
All right.
I'm so happy that played. It was one of those cases where I hit the button and nothing happened on my screen. It was like, I hope I'm not just sitting here looking down at the desk and nothing's happening. Oh, StreamYard, don't ever change. Actually, StreamYard's pretty good. I think it's more my computer is starting to show its age. So yeah, we got a coffee account down there too, if you look in the description. Anyways,
well,
moving forward, first news item. Hey, finishing up on Kickstarter this week. Heavy Armor Toys bringing you International Freedom Force. We've got U.S. Special Forces, we've got Australian Special Forces, we got the British SAS Commando, and we got some generic bad guys getting gunned down in the picture there. Those are the 4 figures available in the base offering on International Freedom Force. Head over to Kickstarter, check them out. Just funding a few more days until August 23. at 11 p.m. Eastern. What's the 23rd? Is that Saturday?
Saturday looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
$60,000 goal. We are not there yet, so please head over and give this one a look. Heavy Armor has put out a few offerings to this point. They did the Sailors and the Seabees last year. Very high quality figures, interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands, O-ring construction that we all know and love so well. Great for padding out your U.S. military forces on that front. And now it's time to bulk up on some of the international guys as well. So again, head over to Kickstarter. Oh, you know what? I forgot the Kickstarter button. I'm going to ruin the whole thing. Here we go.
It's a great riff.
Right? Let's see Spotify demonetize that, because they will. That was my email correspondence this week, because nobody wrote to us. But Spotify wrote to us to tell me that an episode that went up almost 4 years ago had music in it that was copyrighted, and it did. But it was old enough that the copyright on that music should have run out somewhere around 1820. And that was the point that I tried to make to the people at Spotify, and it didn't work out. So like episode 211 or something is not on Spotify anymore.
It's a crime.
Yeah, kind of. It was one of those where I didn't fight that hard about it, because it's like, dude, nobody listens. First off, nobody listens to us on Spotify anyway. And second off, like 4 years ago, and we're a news show, I think we've probably gotten all of the mileage out of that episode that we're going to get.
And now it's the only one I want to watch, sadly, and it's not there.
Well, it's still on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll catch it.
Everything's still on YouTube, because the elements that I use are all from YouTube's library. So this is where I consider our responsibility right now. So long as it's good with YouTube, then it's good with me. And they didn't pull the episode. They gave me the music. They said, "Here, why don't you have this for free?"
That's kind of them.
And I said, "Do I have to credit this?" And they said, "No." So,
and if you want to listen to that episode while you're in your car or something like that, Podbean.
Really, anywhere else that you get podcasts, gotta have that one. Like I said, I don't know if it's 211. I think it's 211. It's somewhere in the 210s. Somebody help me. If somebody wants to get on Spotify and prove me wrong on that one, by all means, go for it. But I don't care.
Whatever.
Cooter's Garage, he started off on What's on Joe Mine on Spotify. Well, good. But you're here now. Now you're here on the YouTube. The YouTubes. Anyways, International Freedom Force. Go check it out.
Go check it out.
Do it once we're done. Not right now, but do it, like loosely within the framework of a now. Like, do it tonight. Because you're running out of time.
Yeah, later on at about when we're done.
But hey, as we know, the last 3 days, as we'll see in the story later, is when the magic happens. So
this is the magic time.
Yeah.
We do have a link for International Freedom Force Kickstarter in the description below. So you don't even have to work that hard. You can go directly from here to there once we're done. And just bam. Bam.
Yeah.
Go and pledge your money and get your gaggle of hard fighting Aussies.
Bart's got a valid question down there.
Is that the Honcho's cop brother? Maybe.
You know what? If it helps the campaign, yes.
Right. It is. That is Mike Weber is what that is.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That is not Mark Weber, but Mike Weber.
There you go.
The big burlier honcho with full mustache.
That is now in my head canon. All right.
Got to go make sure I got one of them in my pledge. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Bart's calling it off at this one. Cue the music. That's that. You know, he's right, folks. There's nowhere else to go from there.
Yeah. Been a great audience. Tip your waiter and waitress.
Oh. JoeFan84 says the last thing I see on Spotify is last week's. Oh no, you don't see that. Spotify feeds off of the Podbean, and I haven't updated that in a couple of weeks. So the last episode you see on Spotify is probably like from 6 weeks ago. I've been busy. I can either put together, we've had a run where I can either put together a weekly show here, and we can continue here as is standard, or I can go back through the archives. I got some archive time coming up. We'll get that fixed, but it's been a bad summer for keeping it up. Gene Fleming says, I just glanced at 211 on YouTube from the completion bar showing on the search page. I apparently never circled back to watch the last half of that episode after I went to bed. Correct. Well, there you go. Maybe 211, maybe talking about episode 211 does that. Maybe we're not done. No words of encouragement. We'll move on. International Freedom Force. Check it out on Kickstarter very soon. Next news item. Hey, this thing happened.
There it
is. Last week, we did see the conclusion of the Snowcat campaign from the folks over at HasLab. I know we are absolutely the last people to be talking about this, but hey, we didn't have a show last week. And there wasn't any new news to talk about this week anyway, so you're stuck with it one more time.
Hey, but apparently we'll be the first people to be talking about this and not going, what the hell?
Right.
Why?
Right. As the one roundtable discussion show that I watch, as I understand, we were the only ones that actually expected everything to fund, or at least gave it a chance. I don't say necessarily expected it, but we certainly left the opportunity for it, and there it all was. You can see the figures there at the top. Campaign closed on August 14th at midnight. 16,457 total pledges got in on the Snowcat. That is a whole mess of units. It's a whole mess of frostbites, ski torpedoes, missiles with blast effects. It's got that removable missile launcher system. It's got the back that converts into a troop carrier. So Snowjob can have a home. Snowjob's fallen on hard times, right? I'm glad we did this for Snowjob. Now he can live in the back of the truck. Realistic engine details, pull-out cooking station, adjustable cockpit controls, opening cockpit and side windows, working headlights and light-up dash details, working rear treads. As I understand it, it's got a little plug-in for a USB port, so you can keep the lights on all the time without burning out batteries.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff with this Snowcat.
Yep.
And at 325, 16,457 people made that happen.
And I was one of them.
Rack Time Rob was in for one. I finally buckled and got in for one. Chad's not a classified guy. You're not in for one.
I'm not in. And also just, we chatted about this for just a second. The size of these things are kind of so big that you have to have like dedicated space for these. And right now I just don't. I really like the campaign and the vehicle looks cool. And I had a Snowcat as a kid, but where am I going to put this thing? You know?
Right. Look, I'm in that boat with you. As it stands, I still have a box with a Rattler in it. I still have a box with a hiss in it. I still have a box with a Dragonfly in it. They are all Schrodinger's classifieds. They may have G.I. Joe classified toys in there. They might. They also might not.
Maybe.
But you got all the Rancor bag of bones that didn't happen. Right.
It could be. I'll never know. Jedi Ben said he didn't back it until it unlocked the bivouac. I don't think you were alone in that one, man.
Yeah.
Because it was impressive. We did see all three stretch goals unlock. can see there 10,000 units. That happened the day before things ended up. It was right as we were going to bed on the 13th. Lady J unlocked. She has her weapons, her ice fishing gear, and coffee, most importantly. And then at 12,000 units, that happened the last day on the 14th. The bivouac unlocked. It's got its missile launcher. It's got its assortment of tools and living supplies, and it's got fire.
Fire.
And then lastly, Flint at 14,000 with several hours to go. It was really a pretty, makes it sound like it happened last minute, but it happened pretty comfortably last minute. At 14,000, Flint has his weapons and his cooking gear. He got a pan with some eggs. Flint's eating right.
He got sausage.
He's got sausages, and he's got even more coffee. So
Flint understands that protein with coffee for breakfast, that's all you need. Like, you don't need oatmeal. I don't care where you are. Like, if you've got sausage and coffee, but seriously, you're ready to defeat Cobra. Done.
Look, all I'm saying is with sausage, eggs, and coffee, it's a good thing that bivouac came with a trench digging tool.
There you go. They thought of everything.
It's gonna be one quick trip around 11 o'clock in the morning. And they're gonna be a whole lot of time.
Like
to be reaching around for shovels. You got to make sure that is right there, ready to go.
Yeah. Does the shovel peg in their back? Like, can they just? Yeah.
I think it's got a holster, shovel holster.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. Amen.
It's right off the belt. Gene Fleming notes that when Dad was in Norway, and there's Dad right there. When Dad was in Norway, reindeer sausage was standard for breakfast. Reindeer sausage is incredible.
Thank you.
For those who don't know.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I have not had it.
Oh, deer meat is just a wonderful thing. I lived in Missouri for a long time, so I had many friends that hunted deer. And God bless them for doing it, because otherwise that town would be overrun by deer. No, that entire state would be overrun by deer. So, yeah, deer meat is good. Deer meat is so good. It's a slow cooking meat. I'll say that though. If you don't have time, you can't microwave deer.
No.
Deer is a meat for the slow cooker. Which, again, if you've seen my Instagram, you know that's my language.
The language of meat.
The language of slow cooked meats. Because I work overnights. I don't get out much. Sometimes all there is to take pictures of, oh, here's what I got cooking today. The star of my Instagram is Rob's Crockpot.
There's no shame in that.
Bart says deer meat and a Pepsi. Well, I don't know about that second part.
Yeah, it's up without the second part. Not because I don't like Pepsi, but just because I can't. Pepsi's brutal.
Pepsi is unfiltered gutter water, is what it is.
It'll hurt you. It'll hurt you. It goes great with some deer meat, but just later on.
Just ask the T-shirt.
Yeah. Unfiltered gutter water. Unfiltered gutter water.
Yes. So Dennis is in there. He says, you do not dig in the frozen ground, which I'm sure is true, but I thought we were, because they're basically like 6 inches of powder and we're just fluffing it out of the way and then sort of scraping it back over.
Right, but I mean, frozen poop doesn't smell, so that's fine. Whatever.
Easily disposed of.
Yeah.
Andrew's mad that we talked about Pepsi. I'm personally sorry, and I'm sorry to Pepsi drinkers everywhere.
He is every week, and I'm not sorry. Drink a good soda. I'm gonna next time I go to a show in November when I'm assembly required, somebody's gonna challenge me to a duel of some kind. We'll be fighting with those Star Trek weapons.
It will be the Pepsi challenge.
That's different and lamer. Beta Ray Bob says, I would rather have RC Cola than Pepsi. Look, man, don't slight RC. RC Cola is good cola.
That's quality.
Yeah, Pepsi is unfiltered gutter water.
They're drinking Royal Crown Cola.
It has its own logo on the show. I mean, how can it be wrong? Unfiltered gutter water. It was right. It was like graphically designed. You weren't kidding around.
No, we weren't.
No, that was. I was very proud of that. Andrew says he is drinking a Pepsi during every What's On. Look, I appreciate that it's part of your process.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you don't have better taste in cola. I don't have any cola tonight. I've got a Sprite Zero going tonight. So no sugar, no caffeine. What the hell am I doing this for?
For the Lyman.
So Racktime Rob, out of these stretch goals, what do you like the best?
Out of the stretch goals, I gotta say I like the bivouac because it's something different.
Right.
And it's a really cool addition. That and it's cooler than the bivouac I had as a kid. So hard plastic.
I did that on purpose just to bring a spotlight back to the bivouac. I really enjoy that a stretch goal for this Snowcat is something that you don't need to have the Snowcat for.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll put this out as an offering. You'll get an olive drab one and package it with a figure, and that could be like a deluxe set or something.
Yeah.
Where we can treat the bivouac like a pet. Ripcord and his pet bivouac.
Would have been good with like Outback, but
right. There you go. That's like Outback summer home right there. You can get him in his tiger stripe shirt.
Wasn't Outback the character on one of the early like G.I. Joe special missions or whatever that's in his underwear in the snow? Like he took his clothes off and he packed it full of snow to deceive it wasn't even Cobra, if I remember right, that was pursuing him. It was like some militia.
Yeah, he was escaping from Boravia.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He comes out from behind the tree with just like a cigarette in his skivvy. He's like, lay down in the snow or I'll shoot you type of thing. It's a glorious moment. I mean, that's his bivouac. There's no doubt about that. He's in his underwear, but he's still warm because of that thing. Did I say too much? Let me be quiet.
No, you're good. I was taking the opportunity for somebody else talking to read the live chat. So,
oh, nice.
You're okay.
I can talk for a really long time. I almost kept going. But...
That's why you're on the show, man. It's
I figured.
The gunny Dennis Fleming reminds us that for body waste, you do into a plastic bag for proper disposal, or face charges for damaging the environment.
Yeah,
that's mildly depressing. Because the neighbor's dogs are out. And I don't know which one, because all of our neighbors have dogs.
Yeah, and none of them pick up.
Nowhere Man Child was on the spot. He said that was Special Missions Issue 6. I remember it very well.
Yeah. He's Jeff is always that. If we randomly cite comic books, he's usually pretty. I think it's part of his blood feud with Racktime Rob.
Blood feud. It's the first I've heard of such a blood feud.
I mean, Racktime Rob is one of those comic book guys. He can just name off, first appearances of Golden Age characters that you've never heard of.
Oh.
But so I think Nowhere Man Child takes that as his personal. Like he's going to try and body out Racktime Rob from his area of expertise.
Challenge accepted.
See that? Fire and muscles. Boom.
I think that's blood.
Is it? No, it is. All right, my bad. That is blood drop.
Blood feud. Yeah.
Blood feud right there. That's the universal symbol, obviously, for a blood feud where someone must die.
Apparently, I'm a marked man.
It'll be our new segment, Jeff Butler's Blood Punch.
Oh, I see Jason. I want to leave Jason. Jason Rose also knew, that it was Special Missions Issue 6. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, back up there. I'm not going back for it. I'm not going back for it. I'm done. I'm out.
Sorry.
Ah. Blood Punch, sponsored by Pepsi.
We're not saying we wouldn't take their money. I mean,
no,
look. If the Pepsi people wanted to sponsor What's on Joe Mind, I am drinking Pepsi Zero tomorrow.
We'll drink your bubble all night.
Tomorrow, I am jumping the fence, and we've got a bad Coke spoof on the T-shirt shop. I promise you, the next day. But until that happens,
changing that Coke wave to unfiltered kettle water.
Right. Just fill it in. It's not going to be a white swirl on there anymore. It'll just be a brown one. Or a yellow one.
Okay.
Anyways. Make it graphic. There we go. It's didn't know you were going to have to show up and write Garbage Pail Kids, did you? Or wacky packages. Wasn't that was what those were, where it was the
wacky packs, yeah.
You know what I thought was so weird about Garbage Pail Kids that you realize like way later in life? There's that book called Mouse, which was done by
Art Spiegelman.
Yeah. Art Spiegelman, yeah. And it's in every library. It won a bunch of awards. I've thumbed through it a few times. It's really interesting and intriguing and brilliant in some ways. That dude, his follow-up to Mouse was the Garbage Pail Kids. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he was kind of known as a like a parody artist, and things like that.
Really was.
Yeah.
Gosh. They said, "Well, you did Mouse. Like, what's next?" He's like, "I'm thinking about doing some trading cards with a bunch of snot-nosed kids that bother everybody. It's going to be big." Everyone said, "Yeah, do that. I'll fund that. Pepsi will sponsor that."
I'm gonna do some dolls with some bodily fluid problems.
Right? Yes.
But hey, Mouse is pretty heavy reading, so I understand the need to maybe have a release.
Yeah, I don't know if I read it, but I thumbed through it, so it counts.
Sure. I've touched the book, therefore, osmosis.
Osmosis.
But yeah, if Pepsi called us up tomorrow and said, "All right, smart guy, here's some money. Keep doing your little 2-bit slime show." Thank you very much, Mr. Pepsi.
Josiah has a question at the bottom of the chat there. He says, Mouse was before Garbage Pail Kids. I can't be 100% sure, but my understanding of it is that Mouse was first and the follow-up was Garbage Pail Kids. Maybe somebody...
There have been several series of Garbage Pail Kids over the years. Like obviously the earliest ones happened back in the 80s when we were all children. But there have been several reboots and restarts in the decade since. So maybe that was it. I can't substantiate any of it either. But
I forget the exact publication on Mouse, but I think it's mid late 80s. So
okay,
was it?
He could have been working on them concurrently.
Yeah, maybe I have the time. Either way, but those two projects come from the same guy. I think was what I was saying. Like, one's super cerebral and historic and all the stuff, and the other one's like, hey, boogers.
Yeah.
To summarize.
Here's Atom Bomb blowing his head off.
Andrew Galgan with honest question, Rob. This we'll throw this to you. What would be your number one company to sponsor What's on Joe Mind? Just said dream sponsor. Who would it be?
Wouldn't it be Depends? Just
as we are the last show on YouTube that has yet to collect a sponsorship dollar from Manscaped. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like we're out of the club until that happens. But
Manscaped or Blue Chew,
right, or Factor, or any VPN company. I don't know. I just. But who would be the dream sponsor? Chad, why don't you go ahead? You're a guest host. Who would your dream sponsor be? If somebody said, "Hey, we're going to make your project a reality, but you got to put our logo on it," who would it be?
For my project or for this live stream?
For your project.
Who would be my dream? Hey, we're going to put our logo on it.
Because I know if I'm asking you about what's on Joe Mind, you're like, it depends, whatever. That's fine.
I mean, for you guys, it's obviously gutter water or something like that. For me, my cool stuff, though, for like the cool stuff I'm doing. I mean, if we're being honest, it's probably, Hasbro, right? Like I'm making these O-ring action figures. It would be super. Even Todd Toys, somebody dope like that. I'm not advocating any particular. What I'm saying is, if a really nice toy company came along and said, "Yeah, we want to pick that up. We think your toy is dope. Like we're going to put our logo next to yours," I'm in.
No problem.
Right on. Throw me your money. Yeah.
But say it's not a toy company. Who would it be after that? What's your first choice? If somebody's just going to slide you money under the table and say, hey.
I guess I'm trying to think of companies that I sort of really, respect or whatever. Nike's out, like Apple's out, all this type of, even though I do their products, I don't really want to be associated with them. I know the next stuff that comes to mind is like comic book companies. They don't have any money. Marvel, DC, one of those two.
Well, they do have Warner Brothers and Disney money. So
yeah, they're owned by mega conglomerates, so they're kind of in the position of not being that great.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up with the perfect answer to that question and be livid angry that I didn't think of it on the stream. So I'm going to text you, and you'll have to edit the description, down below. But I don't know. I mean,
a really blatant audio edit.
Yeah,
I'm really not sure. I'd have to say saltine crackers.
Yeah. Morton Salt with the rain girl with the umbrella or whatever is what it has to be. I do not know. It's aside from a cool toy company, I'd have to sit and think on that for a minute.
There we go. So Diana Davis is fresh from Wikipedia, I'm going to guess. Mouse was serialized from 80 to 91. The first gathered edition was around 86. The second in 91. The whole shebang in 92. So you know what? Garbage Pail Kids fits the timeline.
Yeah.
There you go. So I would say concurrent.
Sounds like they were somewhat concurrent. Yeah, to be honest.
Nowhere Manchild asked, should we put our suggestions in the big boy comments? I think that's a grand idea. Nowhere Manchild. I think that is a wonderful suggestion.
To suggest a sponsor, just give them my email. Just tell them. Chad will take your money. Like he's ready for the money. Kickstarter starts Monday. Show up with your money. Easy.
Right. I mean, seriously, good God, you folks at home, you have to understand what a low number it would take for me to just be done at my job right now. It's just such a tiny number, relatively speaking. Just ready to walk. So, no, I get it. I get you. You just throw it down there. Maybe I'll throw together some emails.
All right. I'll just have people call me. Diana said something interesting about Spiegelman. If we want to continue on that for just no.
I she's right, by the way, but I don't necessarily want to engage because we will go for another hour.
Let's
not.
not.
It won't be anything productive. It'll just be us. It'll just be us tooth gnashing in agreement.
I was going to say probably you're probably right. Anyway, moving on.
But
Art Spiegelman was one of those old timey renegade underground cartoons. So it was
he kind of had nothing nice to say about anybody that made money.
Yeah, I hear. Okay.
Because if you weren't, there is an element. I saw him speak when I was in college, and like I said, there was kind of that if you're not suffering for your art, you're not really an artist. A little bit.
Yeah, I don't really buy into that. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, there's certainly a suffering phase, right? But I think the philosopher Ted DiBiase had it correct. And that everybody's got a price.
Ted DiBiase was a smart guy,
right? I mean, sure, he's potentially doing time for that whole scandal that got Brett Favre too. But whatever.
There's my sponsor there.
The $1 Million Man.
the wrestling federation. Send me wrestling.
the wrestlers.
WWF logo. Like I want like a SummerSlam logo on each.
There you go.
Where's the honcho? He'd be in my corner, dude.
He's off on sabbatical.
This guy, he needed a break.
For most of this last year. Anyways. Nowhere Man Child. For the low price of one HasLab Snowcat, you too can help sponsor Mike Irizarry. Sure. Again, the figure on a piece of paper slid across the table. Hey, Mike, we'll give you this if you quit your job. I might not look at the slip of paper. I might just be like, okay,
done. If there's a number on here, we're done.
If I see the pen wiggle, like they may not have actually written anything. It may just be a squiggle. It might be enough.
I'm out.
It might be enough. But I think what was most gratifying about the Snowcat, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show started, was just so much and I'm going to use the term very loosely here. We put it in air quotes, but I'm tired of doing air quotes. The fan community, so much negativity surrounding the Snowcat, so much controversy, and so much doom and gloom, so many failure predictions, most of them by outlets that have a far bigger reach than we do. And here we are saying, yeah, it's got a shot. It might well just get it done. The entire time started to have a little bit of doubt on like Flint towards the end there, but we were always pretty confident that this was going to fund and get at least one or two of the stretch goals. And all three, just because Joe fans, as I pointed out 2 weeks ago, Joe fans tend to show up late. We don't like to budget things. And that's exactly what happened here. Rock Time Rob, what are your thoughts there?
I've got to echo. I mean, I was trying to find, things on news of the HasLab and things like that. And unfortunately, I just kept running into people who were really devoting a lot of energy, almost seems like, to make sure that this thing failed. And I'm just like, are you a fan? It's okay if you don't like it. You're entitled to your opinion. But I mean, to turn this into some kind of, holy crusade that this must die, I don't get.
Yeah, there's a line, right? You're allowed to not like it. You're allowed to not back it. That's certainly not what we're I almost didn't, but you're certainly not allowed. You're certainly allowed to not want to partake.
Yeah, but it's your money. Do with it as you'd like. Exactly. But and then once it did, on those last 3 days, just kind of all of a sudden take off like a rocket, and all three tiers went away. The vitriol of like, oh my God,
And I bet if you watch content from those producers today, they are totally rah. They're all down with it.
No, like I said, I actually clicked on some of them, and I lasted like 5 minutes, and it was just like, what a chump, and clicked off just because I was curious, and just regretted it. So I clicked off, made sure I erased it from my watch history. So it wouldn't come back.
Right. 6 years from now,
yeah.
Well, you watched 5 minutes of this. Let's pop it back in there. Chad, you're a crowdfunding veteran. What are your thoughts here?
Oh, where's my pipe and my
right
my reading jacket? What are my thoughts on the tiers or on the dramatic funding at the end?
On just the campaign, the tiers. Fine, if you want it. You talk about whatever you want. You're our guest. But in terms of my question specifically, just the campaign, the histrionics, the questionable ethics by some folks who do what we do. Just go crazy. That's what I'm saying here. Go nuts.
To speak to the like some of the histrionics and some of the oh my gosh of it, I think there's a thing with social media that says that drama equates to clicks and shares and this type of thing. Okay.
Right.
It's like you look at sort of modern politics and stuff that I won't touch on here with 100-foot pole. It's like, that's a lot of drama, even for big stakes stuff. That's just kind of permeated culture. So I think some of it's just really disingenuous in terms of, if I say this, I know 75 people that are going to show up and blow up this comment section and share this, and it's going to get rewatched, right? I can't say for sure if that's happening, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's driving some of this. Then you have people that are collectors that just really love kind of just what they love. Pardon me. I'm sorry. And that's okay to be like, I really just like what I like and I want everyone to like it. That's okay. But you also have to come to a self-awareness that says, nothing's wrong with me or my opinion if someone else likes something different. We just have to embrace that kind of community mindset. And the thing is, the internet's really good. Again, it's sort of like exacerbating certain negativity and echo chambers and this type of stuff. So the histrionics and stuff is just kind of the internet, right? It's just kind of people with strong opinions on the internet saying stuff. It snowballs. That's just par for the course. So that's my thought on that. There's just not much you can do about it. That's going to be there. It's part of the culture, if you will, not just in the toy community, but in general. So I'm never surprised by a lot of people all sort of glomming onto this negativity. The same way that I think there was just so many people that, especially in past campaigns, that really hyped up a lot of positivity because there was a lot of positive emotion that maybe wasn't quite real. You know what I mean? In terms of the finished product or whatever, not that any of them are bad, but it seems like it's either like feast or famine. Everybody hates it, everybody loves it, whatever that may be. And some of that's just algorithm, right? But to speak to the campaign itself, I feel like the Snowcat was a smart thing to put in a HasLab because we've talked already about sort of limitations of scale and this classified sizing. And you've got to hit what are people super nostalgic about? What will look visually iconic? What can we make look just like it was back in the day, but still completely modern? They have to sit around, as a person who's worked on video games and developed toys and all this type of stuff, you spend an inordinate amount of time saying, what's going to hit? What are people asking for? But what can we do? And where's the Venn diagram of all of that? So I think this was a smart idea. Some of the specific decisions in terms of the iterations of because I know they had various concepts specifically for Snowcat. It can be kind of like this shape and size with this apparatus. It can be this. How they dialed it down a little bit for me was probably had maybe to do with cost or whatever. But I think this could have been a more compelling Snowcat campaign. So I began by saying I think it was a smart thing to put on a HasLab. I think it could have been done in a more compelling fashion, but I don't have to make those business decisions. I get to live in this pie in the sky world where I say, we want this, right? So the right idea, a decent execution, maybe not the greatest execution, but it started off kind of slow and stuff, I think, because it is an Arctic play set. It doesn't have a super strong military feel to it. Honestly, it feels a little bit more tertiary. These particular tiers right here, I love. Lady J's not my thing, but I love her in this jacket. For me, it's better than sort of like the OG thing because it splits up her, her profile and all the stuff and adds in some beige and some warmth. And she's not just kind of this big green giant monster thing. I'm being
destroying Tokyo, Lady J.
No, I like Lady J, but she was never my favorite figure, just honestly because of kind of so much green in a jumpsuit. That just wasn't for me, but I'm happy when anybody loves her. But I really like her here. Flint, on the other hand, for me, got kind of less with this garment. His original outfit for me was so kind of perfect. This feels very one note, almost like he lost his distinction. So again, the tiers are sort of a hit or miss for me. Tier 2 doesn't do anything for me. I love the nostalgia of sort of like a bivouac and stuff. I'm big on fire and coffee and that type of thing, but it's a little bit underwhelming. Again, this is me just shooting from the hip. If I were a classified guy and I had the room and the money, would I back this? Yeah, probably, because it's the Snowcat.
Right.
Right. But I wouldn't have had super strong feelings about if anyone else backed it.
Right. Right.
I wouldn't have, you guys, if you guys don't, or if you guys do, you're for me, all that drama is just like, hey, to each his own. It looks like you've got strong feelings about it. I didn't come here to argue, to each his own. If you love it, back it. If you don't type of thing. But I'm not a classified guy just because it's just not my scale. I think the toys look brilliant. They're too big for me. I don't have the room for it. I collect a lot of retro stuff, so it just wasn't my thing. But in a nutshell, that's kind of my and again, I haven't gone to this HasLab and really looked through it or whatever. I'm just giving you my sight unseen, shooting from the hip thoughts on it. So again, in recap, I think the right idea, I think a middling execution, not that that's a bad thing, but they went kind of middle of the road. And I'm surprised actually that tier 2 and 3 unlocked. I think that's just community rallying the troops and saying, you've got to get in there and back this thing. We need it all. And isn't that really what a HasLab is supposed to do? It's supposed to kind of get community doing a lot of your marketing and your push and stuff for you. In that regard, it looks like they kind of did brilliantly at the end of this thing, good for them.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. Like I said, the one thing I will critique them on the execution on this is, the sales pitch that you read on the website is written by Cobra Commander, and he's shitting on the thing.
He is, yeah.
And I'm like, and I know it's played for, they're playing for a little humor and tongue in cheek and stuff like that, but I still think it's just a dumb idea to sell something that you're trying to, that's a high ticket item, a luxury item, if you would, for
if you would, nothing.
Yeah. And poo-poo it, like your sales pitch is to say how great it isn't, It's like Hasbro was like doing the job of all the naysayers for them, and so I don't think I would have gone with that approach because they didn't do it with the Dragonfly.
Well, they did it with Hiss, didn't they? And they did it kind of
It's okay. It's okay to have like the Cobra guys like pitch the Hiss and the Rattler because those are Cobra vehicles. They didn't do it on the Dragonfly. Dragonfly's a Joe vehicle. They didn't have Cobra Commander say, "Yeah, don't buy this helicopter," because of that, They pitched the helicopter out there as, hey, take out, this is this is like the counterbalance to your Hiss and stuff like that, and it was a better sales pitch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I did a few updates that I read where Cobra Commander was kind of whizzing on this thing. I was like, oh, gosh, they're doing that again. I don't know how well that fits. It's memorable.
I remember they did it on the Sky Striker. But the Sky Striker to juice the other, I guess, slow campaign that G.I. Joe has had on HasLab. They added that Cobra tier.
Right.
The package.
They only brought in the Cobra Commander postings to pitch the Cobra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different there, and it did really, it gave some juice, right? It helped there, but being an O-ring thing, it's almost kind of a different product, right? It's a different line. There's a lot of overlap, but it's not really the same thing. But I agree with you. I think it was a bad choice. Like I know Cobra Commander is the most distinctive voice, character voice in this hobby, in this property rather. But yeah, it came off a little. It was a little too cute, and especially after it got off to a slower start than the other HasLabs that they've run.
Yeah, and then you got Cobra Commander going like, yeah, this thing sucks. Look how slow it's going. And you're going,
yeah, right. Like maybe a pivot to just General Hawk barking out how great this is and how this is really going to help the Joes and rally up. And it's so yeah, questionable social media game from the HasLab folks, but I don't know.
There's a lot of happy people when these tiers funded, man. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
Happy
And
there were. I think there was the perception that they weren't going to happen because there were a lot of a lot of bad faith arguments out there, making it seem like the feelings that were the anti Snowcat crowd was much bigger than it actually was.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, and I kept hearing things like this. Said, "Oh, Hasbro's cooking the books. They'll have the employees buy a bunch of." It was like, well, number one, Hasbro can't make their employees buy something, and these are expensive, and those people have, they're middle class just like we are. It's they have expenses too.
They have to save up for when they get laid off at some point next year.
Exactly. And number two, cooking the books, like Hasbro's let HasLabs fail.
Yeah, I mean that's the proof on that right there. Right? How many of these have just tanked and it just died to death?
Poor Cookie Monster.
Yeah, Cookie Monster didn't fund. The Rancor didn't fund. The Ghost Rider car didn't fund.
Dang it! That lightsaber, wasn't there like a Sith lady lightsaber?
Yeah. There was the interrogator light, or the Inquisitor lightsaber.
The Inquisitor, yeah, that saber.
Yeah.
Blitz 0065. For a bit, I thought Cobra Commander's anti-campaign was really working.
Right.
Yeah, I thought they were counter-programming themselves.
Yeah, I didn't think it was really hurting anything, but it certainly wasn't helping.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on the fence and basically you have somebody hitting all the bad points, you're just like, it's not a sales pitch.
Yeah, or hitting all the good points and then saying, "But this is terrible."
Yeah.
Kind of a weird strategy there.
We're getting enough snark from the hacks on the internet. We don't need it from the people actually trying to pitch this thing.
Right. We need at least level-headed discussion at the least.
It's hard on the internet, man. That's the one bell I'm going to keep checking. Like the internet don't really do that, Unless you watch on Joe Mind show, and then you get it all night. Because we're sponsored by Pepsi, by the way. So
there we go.
Brought to you by Pepsi. I mean, truthfully,
of a new generation.
That actually has been when talking about doing the show, and there's always there's sometimes there's a little bit of frustration because we grow. But we grow very, very slowly, very glacially. But you know what? I will take the folks that we have that follow us every week and that watch the show and maybe they're a little light in the interaction department, but you know what? I don't have to moderate the comment section on this video because I know we're not attracting the folks that just want to come off and shoot off a manifesto and mock other people's work or mock other people's lifestyles or, all kinds of negative internet.
Yeah. Just starting crap to watch the world burn.
Yeah. Stereotypes. That's not our crowd. So if our crowd has to be a little bit smaller to accommodate folks who are awesome, then that's fine. I'll take it. I appreciate every one of you out there, even though like Andrew Gauguin, I make fun of his love of swill water, but Andrew Gauguin is still a friend of the program.
Yeah, he opened himself up to that, honestly.
He did. Pepsi is terrible.
It
doesn't even taste like anything. It just it hits your mouth and just the corn syrup taste just.
Yeah. And your mouth actually says somewhere inside to you, like it sends like a DM to your brain and goes, "What are we drinking right now?
What are you doing?"
Yeah, this is
what it feels like. What happened?
This is what it feels like to convert to a diabetic.
Too far.
I'm telling you, man. That's all. It doesn't even taste like anything.
He's in the chat. It went south quick.
Stops writing a nice post about the positivity of what's on Joe Mind. Poor guy.
But on the plus side, Mike is positive about his feelings on Pepsi.
Right. As with everything on this show, your mileage may vary. So, I mean, shoot, we defend Sigma 6 in these parts.
Oh man.
Right? Nobody liked Sigma 6, but I know a few folks that do. And I'll dedicate it wasn't for me. but I can look at it objectively and say those are pretty great toys if that aesthetic appeals to you. You know, they were certainly playable. They were rugged. You know, they had all kinds of weapons you could mix and match and have all kinds of fun with. They were great toys. They just didn't scream G.I. Joe to me, so I wasn't that excited about it. But it had a pretty successful run in Toy World. You know, it's not this thing that we have on the mountaintop or anything, but they got 3 years out of it.
Hey,
right?
Proceeds are proceeds.
Right? Right. Anyways, next news item. And congratulations to everybody who got a Snowcat.
Yeah, congrats. I hope you guys. I can't wait to see some pictures of them when 6 months from now or something on the internet.
Hey, we got some comic books. We got some comic books happening. Did I get them out of order? I think I did. I sure did. No, I didn't.
Dang it.
Earlier today. No, I see. I'm good. I don't know what day it is, Chad. I work overnights. I have no concept of time.
Is time real? Is time even a thing?
In my mind, it's still June. Anyways,
I can verify it is not June.
Available today. G.I. Joe 10, Skybound Universe. The Baroness and CoverGirl's trip to Paris continues. It's not going well, as Major Blood and Raptor have decided to intervene. But Joshua Williamson behind the keyboard, Andrea Milana, Lee Loffridge on art. That is there for us today. We don't have any spoilers for you because you haven't read it yet.
No, me neither.
Hadn't happened. Chad, you following the Energon universe?
Part and parcel. I've bought several of the issues right from the first, the very first issue, the Void Rivals there that had Jetfire in it and stuff. And I bought several of the Joe books. I think this is done with a lot of aplomb. Kirkman, I think that, the kind of the showrunner on this, the guy from The Walking Dead, I'm a big fan of his work. And I think they're really shooting for the moon here. And, I'm excited to see where this goes. Right now, for some reason, what's happening with the G.I. Joes in this particular series is just not for me.
Really?
The Baroness being sort of starting out as a Joe and this kind of, it's something with the plot or the pacing or something. I was 2 or 3 issues in and I said, I'm just going to let this simmer for a bit and come back when it kind of finds its footing. I like the art quite a bit. And the writing style, again, is really nice, but something about it for me just doesn't keep me going back to the rack. As excited as I am for the Energon universe as a whole, and the crossover between Joes and the Transformers and all that type of stuff, it's really my thing. I'm just kind of watching it for a little bit. I don't hate it by any means. Again, really well done. I think they're shooting for the moon. It hasn't got there for me quite yet. I'm still, man, I grew up on, on the very first issues of G.I. Joe, and my brain still loves all of that. And I think maybe it's just hard for me to see kind of a retelling, modernizing of it.
You do have to unplug. You do have to get to kind of flush out what you already know. There's some similar beats, right? But I think I enjoy it. I've come around. Like, I was not looking forward to this when it first started. I still had a lot of just, I don't feel that IDW handled a combined universe very well.
Yeah, for real.
And so I just had visions of the same thing happening here. Despite, I mean, I'm a big Robert Kirkman fan, right? And it just seemed like too big of a project. So the fact that we've got something a little bit different going on, and it seems to be heading in the right direction, I think ultimately the Baroness winds up where we expect her to wind up.
Okay, yeah.
But at the same time, like, this is probably the most depth any version of her character's ever gotten is actually happening right now in this story arc.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Diane's asking me, am I reading Era? I haven't, because again, I got the first several issues of Void Rivals, kind of liked it. I picked up the first couple of the Joe books that that came out, which is this series here. And that's all that I've done. I got 1 or 2 of the Transformers books and really love the art. But again, I'm real picky at the newsstand. So Diana, at your instruction, because you intrinsically have my trust, I'm going to go pick up Era, and I'll let you know what I think. Because I'm certainly not opposed to collecting these books. I just haven't really gotten into it quite yet. This is a bit of a slow burn for me.
But as far as Energon goes, I would say if you find the trades, pick up the trades. They're good. It's been a good action story. I think Joe and Transformers have very much been action oriented, and I think Void Rivals has been much more of a slow burn. That's the one that I've been having trouble with because I'm just used to the pace of the Transformer and Joe books.
Yeah,
and it's really quick. You're really rolling along, and then Void Rivals happens, and there's just kind of a lot of there's a lot of connective tissue. It's important. I think it's going to be more important the further we get into this grand Energon universe experiment. But it's a tougher read for me because I'm not expecting it when I pick it up. Yeah.
I was super stoked again to see Jetfire in that first issue, and then he kind of like jettisoned off into deep space, and I was like,
he comes back if it helps.
Yeah, I imagine that he does. Yeah.
Comes back.
What I usually do is I'll grab these when they're 12 or 15 issues in and they're collected into something, and I'll sit down and kind of digest it all at once. That's just how I am generally more with my collecting. So I'm sure I'll get all of this read before too long. But I'm intrigued by Diana's advice to get a real American Hero. That's something that I've been like, oh, should I pick that up? So I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah, and I have to say, if you're Void Rivals reads better as a trade, I think.
It felt that way about 3 issues in. I'm like, this is kind of a slow burn. I need to wait till it's collected.
And
I got the first. I didn't get Void Rivals at first. But when they were going to introduce the Cobra Law characters into it, I went in to catch up, and also because I'd heard that they had they'd thrown in Hot Rod and Springer on the Transformer side, so to catch up, I got the trades and caught up that way.
Right, and again, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just it's different, and it's on me, right? It's a Robert Kirkman book, it's at least going to have some depth to it. So, anyways, they've been really good about getting trades on these things. Like if you get 6 issues of a book, I think when say you get 6 issues on a book, I think the trade comes out the next month.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to wait a real long time for those collections if that's what you're looking for.
You can get caught up really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And G.I. Joe was preceded by, there was a Duke miniseries, there was a Cobra Commander miniseries, and those are all collected up in individual volumes too. So rather than tracking down single issues, there's really easy trades to find out there. So absolutely would give it a recommendation. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I could see a lot of directions where it goes where I stay fired up about it. I could see some directions where maybe I'm not. But we're not I'm enjoying the ride so far. So I have to give it a recommendation. Also this month, in a couple of weeks, on September 3, a couple of weeks is September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday after Labor
Day. Real American Hero 320 is coming your way.
That's a cool cover, I'll tell you that. That's a dope cover.
Excuse me. Written by the legend Larry Hama, Paul Pelletier on pencils, or Paul Pelletier. I'm sorry, that's the correct pronunciation. Pelletier. It's not Pelletier. Pelletier is like somebody that shoots pellets.
Yes, correct. That's a Pelletier.
It's Pelletier.
Uh-huh.
Tony Cordos on ink and colors by the Eisner-nominated Francesco Segala.
Oh, very cool.
September 3rd happening on this one. We get some further play into the current. We're gonna revive Serpentor's corpse story.
Oh, see, I'm a Serpentor guy. I mean, Coco's my favorite, but I do love me some Serpentor business.
Right, and this the IDW, or rather IDW, the Skybound run has been heavy on Serpentor stuff. So you
see, she was right. I got to start at 301, and I got to get in here. Like, right.
If Serpentor is your guy, then yes, you've needed to be in.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Because we've got Serpentor, we've got wrinkles on, variations on Serpentor. We've got all kinds of Serpentor. So yeah, I won't ruin it for you, but
No.
Yeah. This is your book.
Okay.
But Racktime Rob, give us your spoiler-free thoughts on the current arc here.
Serpentor Con.
Oh, of Real American Hero?
Yeah.
I have been liking it. I felt that it was about time to move on from the cyborg zombie,
oh yeah.
Arc there. And I was happy that they kind of wrapped up that second Cobra Civil War in a grand fashion. I think they were in danger of going a bit too long, but they didn't. So I was going, it's about time to wrap this up. Oh, they've wrapped it up. Excellent.
All right, we're done here. All right, excellent.
Right. Somebody read my mind.
New project.
Yeah, and now we're going on and just progressing, into the aftermath of that, further. So, and we're advancing the story again. So, I'm down with it.
So again, that's in 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays, 2 weeks from today.
The real American Hero book, I really feel, since it's shifted to Skybound, has really had a breath of just kind of like fresh air just blow through it. It's on a good swing.
We'll give all credit to Special Assistant Diana Davis.
There you go.
Because she's here in the live chat, and we're going to suck up.
Kudos.
Oh, longtime friend of the program. Anyways, Skybound Bits. There you see the calendar's got the 2 G.I. Joe books. Right in the middle of that, next week, Void Rivals 22. So some more of that connective tissue. Springer's on the cover, so I'm excited.
Springer's pretty cool. Ever since that movie where Optimus died.
Springer was the best character introduced in Transformers the movie.
You might be correct about that. Even from a toy, like from a play factor. Like
Right. And cool. It pisses me off that he was the one that they did the least with afterwards.
They
right?
really did, yeah.
I was like, oh well, here's this guy. He's kind of he's kind of a loose cannon type, and he's well-respected, rugged warrior, and he's just going to get 5 episodes next season. And
he's the action hero.
Yeah, and you won't see him again. We'll deal more with crap ass Rodimus Prime. That's the guy you're going to get. Anyway. We'll let Racktime Rob continue to die there.
Yeah.
But
rotten kids giving me the plague.
Yeah. So I so much wasted potential with Springer. I'm glad that he's getting a spotlight, even if it's not in the Transformers book. He's at least prominent. Cooter's Garage says Springer had the best lines of the movie. I know. It's why they gave him the Neil Ross. Neil Ross is awesome. Anyhow, next news item. Hey, we got some GoFundMe action going on down below. Remember, Roger Taft still needs your help. He's having some issues with his left eye, but we can fix it. So head on down to the GoFundMe in the link below when we're done here tonight. If you got $1, you got $2, you got $5. Help Roger out. He's a regular guest host for us, longtime friend, longtime co-conspirator. And he had some issues with shingles, and it kind of messed up the eyesight in his left eye. And they can fix it, but Roger is self-employed, and so therefore he is underinsured.
Yeah.
And so head on over to the third largest health insurer in America, GoFundMe, and back Roger's campaign. If you got $1, you got $2, you got $5, whatever it takes, whatever you got, whatever you can shake out of the couch, go for it. Help out our friend.
It's a good cause.
Along those same lines, hey, Jamie Sullivan's got that foot surgery scheduled, but that doesn't mean that he's made the goal. It's still open there. There's still any number of expenses that they have, you can't plan for with stuff like that for not only pre-care but post-care and recovery.
There's always another bill.
Right. It never stops. So please, I know we've been talking about Jamie Sullivan's GoFundMe for several months now, but this is a guy who is, in a very mainstream way, given quite a bit to the G.I. Joe community. So again, if you've got $1, $2, $5, or if you got a lot of dollars, we'll take those too. Head over to Jamie Sullivan's GoFundMe and help him out as he continues his own medical journey. Again, God forbid you're allowed to have 2 feet. Chad, he's had a problem with his foot. He lost a toe, and his doctor said, well, hey, we can do a surgery and just get things fixed up down there. And his insurance company said, nah, it's cheaper for us if you just chop off his foot.
Yeah,
that's what his insurance company said.
I'm not surprised.
And Jamie, as hard-headed, stubborn fool that he is, said, no, I like 2 feet.
Yeah, I like them both.
I'm fond of both feet. Even this foot without the toe is still pretty meaningful to me.
I've grown attached to this foot.
Yeah,
literally.
He's very close. But again, it's not like you can go over. You can't go over on a GoFundMe because, as Rob said, there's always another bill. His own, Rob's own medical journey last year has shown that there's always another bill.
Yeah, sometimes you pay the bill and they still keep sending it to you.
Oh gosh, well that's fun.
Yeah, that only took 51 weeks to resolve.
Right, you pay the bill, and then they send you another bill, and you tell them, "Hey, I paid this bill," and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll take care of that." And then a couple of months later, they send it again, and you got lather, rinse, repeat. I'm just expecting it to show up again sometime around Christmas.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be perfectly timed.
Just plain old Jay says insurance companies want us all to become pirates now. Yes, with hook hands and peg legs and one eye. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we're down to. The swashbuckling is pretty cool though.
And the
ham. If you're one of those Errol Flynn pirates, yeah.
Right. I'm thinking more like beginning of Monty Python's Meaning of Life with the Crimson Permanent Assurance, where the insurance people are literally pirates.
If you've ever seen the Aardman movie called Pirates, Ham Night was a pretty big deal on that boat. The boat of the pirate captain. Someone in the chat's going to back me up on this. Ham Night.
Probably Jeff Butler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Chicken Run. But
yeah.
You got to watch Pirates. Pirates is actually pretty darn good.
As Diana Davis says, it's not just surgery, it's recovery, not being able to work during recovery, possible complications, medicine, and more. So, you can't go over on this sort of thing. So please go ahead and help Jamie out again. $1, $2, $5, whatever you got laying around. Lord knows you're not sending money to us, so send it to Jamie.
Yeah, really.
And I'll bet it does each of these gentlemen a world of good to see somebody new pop in there and give a little something. There's a lot just for the gesture of it. I think just goes a long way.
Right. I got them both again this month because I got 3 paychecks this month. So
good
if
man.
you got 3 paychecks this month, maybe send $5 to each of them on that one. Just on the strength of that. Spread the wealth. Bart says, I saw ice pirates with space herpes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
That's a movie with a reputation I'm not sure it's earned.
Right. Is it better than ice spiders, though? And in that case, you have to say yes.
Yes. Like I said, not the worst thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, I do love me some sci-fi original monster movies. You know, I'll watch them all day.
Oh
man.
So some of them are rotten, but
god awful nonsense.
But some of them are fantastically bad.
What was the one we were watching? It was like the most accomplished actress in it was Carmen Electra. It was just.
I mean, look, you're doing pretty well if you get a Carmen Electra. There's some of them, like the best actress in it is Tiffany, and she's not even an actress.
Yeah,
she's just
Tiffany.
Yeah, she's just a singer from the '80s.
Yeah,
she's a different record company's answer to Debbie Gibson.
That's true. Wasn't the '80s crazy?
It was nuts. It was just a crazy time. Anyways.
Diana Davis asked if we've seen the horror film about the killer llamas. I have not heard of this.
No.
Llamageddon. Obviously.
I'll go back.
I've seen Night of the Lepus, but
I'll go Monty Python again and just scream Cuidado! Llama! And you know, while we're on the subject, Diana Davis has her own situation. Had her own situation with her delightful bulldog Splash, who had some complications after she managed to screw up her stomach, and then the resulting infections and things like that. It left them quite a bit in the hole. So the link below for Diana Davis of our beloved Skybound comic staff. To help her out with her vet bills, because lordy, vet bills get expensive in a hurry.
Oh man,
they pile up even faster than people bills.
They kind of do. What a cute doggo, though.
With your crusty nose.
Crusty.
But thankfully, she is doing much better now.
Good. That's great.
We've seen pictures of her with her happy Gene Simmons tongue hanging out, and. But I love the little crusty nose, so I left it in there.
Yeah, sweet baby. All bulldogs have crusty noses.
Right. It just kind of goes with the territory.
It is part of the breed.
Yeah, it takes a lot to. You get that convoluted nasal column. It takes a lot to just blow that out of there. So you can't be picky about where it lands.
No, that's going everywhere.
Right. If it's on the dog's nose, it means it's not on you or the furniture. So all right, it's a win.
I had no guarantees of that today from some of the kids.
Right.
Oh boy. Oh man.
And there's Diana saying she is doing much better. But again, there still substantial bills to pay. So please, you got $1, you got $2, you got $5. If you have $7 million, that's maybe a little much. But we'll take it. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money.
That's some folded money.
The link is down below. Hey, look, if I had $7 million, I'd spend it on bulldog bills. I absolutely would. Everybody'd be out.
Totally.
I'd be like, hey, Diana, here's enough to cover what you need. Point me to the other bulldogs.
The crustier nose, the better.
Shaking my fists dramatically, single tear forming in the corner of my eye. And while you're throwing money around, we do have some sales coming up on the swag shop on TeePublic. That is happening starting tomorrow through the weekend, August 21 through the 24th, and then again at the end of the month, the 29th through the 31st. Save 35% on all of our tees. Enjoy deep discounts on everything site-wide. Sweatshirts, mugs, magnets, stickers. They got shorts now. And not like tacky boxer shorts. They're like athletic shorts.
Yeah.
Right? Have the logo on the I believe it's the left leg of the shorts.
Ooh,
No.
It's available in 4 or 5 different colors.
Not across the keister.
No. You cannot have what's on Joe Mind show off your juiciness.
no. That left leg position, though, that's pretty spicy.
Right?
Yeah.
Torpedo Mike says, "What's on Joe Mind pillows?" That's right. There's a few of them gotten sold. There's a few of them getting out there. 2-time All-Pro first-team quarterback Steve Young says, "I got the shorts. I'm a fashionista."
He needs them for those two-a-days.
Right? I mean, we're in. Well, no, we're probably past 2-a-days at this point. We're getting close to the season, so. Andrew Galgan asks, 35% off the deeply erroneous and hateful Pepsi shirt as well. Why, yes, you can get this logo on any T-shirt, shorts, ball cap, whatever you want. This unfiltered gutter water logo, where I have very cleverly just swapped the colors to where it's blue on the top and red on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And put our own logo over the top, and that's the Pepsi lettering. That's their font from the 90s that they don't use anymore.
Oh man.
Of course, now that you've swapped the colors, we're gonna get sued by Alcoa.
Right, and so please get this one before we get the cease and desist.
Yeah, while supplies left.
That's really all I can say is pick up some unfiltered gutter water stuff while I can still sell it to you.
Nice.
Because I'm not gonna, like, if they come after me on this one, it's just going away. I'm not trying to. We have the off target one up there with the honcho's face in the middle of it. The target people said, "Hey, not so fast there, Charlie." And I was like, "Okay, I'll rework some things and we'll make this happen." And so it's still there, but this one, no. The Pepsi people, they mean business.
Yeah, can't fight the power.
Or you can. You just got to pick your spots, and this wouldn't be my spot.
See, because we knew that the target people would get the cease and desist order, but since it was an order, they'd cancel it.
Oh,
just so Alcorn says the nugget shape hasn't caused a problem yet. That's right. But I think, too, the fact that our chicken nugget shirt has a chicken nugget with action figure arms makes it legally distinct enough.
That's a completely different shape.
Andrew Galgan is dialing Pepsi's lawyers as the show goes on. You turncoat.
Well, off the Christmas card list. Yeah.
Right. So get yours before Andrew Galgan gets them all. Jake Rose says, I was at a Weird Al concert last week. Someone wanted a selfie with me wearing the Staff Sergeant C-Dug shirt. Said he was a fan. And to plug the damn show. So there you go. Proof positive. If you're a public What's on Joe Mind fan, you will be accosted by strangers.
At a Weird Al concert.
Which makes that, like, that's our group, right?
Yeah.
If that was going to happen anywhere, that a Weird Al show is where that happens.
Yeah.
Anna Davis asks, is there a soda that tastes like filtered gutter water?
We do.
Many of them. Yeah. Many. But few of them have that chunky feel like Pepsi does.
Ooh, chunky.
There's probably a Jones Company soda that's just
their new gravy flavored soda with love.
Oh man. Gravy with chunks.
Just Alan says, I'm working in the warehouse now, so I'm allowed to wear my Staff Sergeant C-Nug shirt to work. There you go.
All right.
But are you, is the question. You say you're allowed.
No, he's wearing it.
Are you doing it?
I'm being accosted by strangers at the Al concert. Weirdos at Al's concert.
Doug Dello says, I was asked while boarding a plane what was on Joe's mind. Did you correct them? Because this has never been about Joe's mind. It's about Joe Mind. Incorrect. We will not take such slander. Even when we had Joe on the show, we didn't care what she was thinking about. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Well, I mean, she would often tell us what she was thinking about, but she'd start off on mute.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when she would say these things, it was muted.
Mostly.
Because she'd forget to, hit the mute button.
And then there would be other times when she was not muted and she would just start yelling at Wes. But anyways.
It's a trade-off.
Dave McDonald asks, is this really the end of St. Elsewhere? It is.
Yes. Yeah.
It is. That's a
we are merely inside a snow globe.
In some kid's bedroom. My sources say yes. Anyway.
Magic 8-Ball reference that crept in.
If you need daily news, I suggest you head over to Surveillance Port. You can find them at surveillance-port.com. Good about spreading links about reviews or leaked photos or things like that we really don't do here on What's on Joe Mind. Eric's got you covered over at surveillanceport.com. He's been on the show before. You like Eric. He's oftentimes in the live chat. He's not there tonight. So, head over, razz him a little bit. That's right. Surveillance-port.com. You may need to stop the video here and write that down. I don't know why he didn't go with an easier to spell playset, but surveillance-port.com for your daily G.I. Joe news stop. And then come back and see us on Wednesday nights and we'll talk about all that stuff.
The odds of spelling surveillance alone properly, much less getting the dash in there, you're about a 1 in 9, and you're halfway through that URL. So you better take a picture and write it down.
Yeah, just get it in there once and then bookmark it. And then you don't have to ever type again.
Never.
The Gunny says, I always plug the show at shows with a What's on Joe Mind bag on the front and back of my scooter, hanging from the guns. That's right. The Gunny is perhaps our loudest fan in that regard, and that he has mounted Nerf machine guns with our logo.
At the very least, he is our most heavily armed.
Very cool.
Right.
Except for the ones who ride the subway in.
Right, because he's a little lightly armed for the subway.
Yeah. See how many people get that reference.
Right. Not enough. Next news item.
Doot, 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 doot.
I got away from the doots a little bit. I apologize. And that's it. That's
look at the kitty.
The G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast is proud to present Chunky Tank Kitty and his Mauler Tank. Be sure to subscribe to the channel where Mike, Mark, and Artuan bring you all of their great projects involving their 3D printers. If you're a beginner, if you're an expert, they've got a show for you, and they're gonna talk to you. They're gonna help you bring it home. So again, their link, their channel is linked up on our channel page. So when you're done here, just head over that way, follow it over, give them a subscribe. And that's the news. Hey, my computer's doing weird things again. Always with the news bumper, too. Always with the news bumper. Anyways, we'll be right back after a quick word from our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
The lightsaber blast, it's still so, you don't know what's coming. You're like,
I always ask if Todd has a different spot he would like us to play, and he'll send them to me, and they all have licensed music that I can't use. So I got to stick with this one. Anyways, that's all we got this week. Good night, everybody.
You wouldn't believe You wouldn't believe how litigious the estate of Lawrence Welk is. We can't play that music.
No, Todd is more using top 40 music, so it's definitely people. Record companies, they'll defend squeezing every last drop of blood out of this turnip. The Lawrence Welk people, they just be happy that I was spreading the joy of easy listening music. A one, a two. That's how he counted off every song. I love it. A one, a two. I don't know what rhythm he was using, but anyways, Chad, what is this? What's going on here?
Oh man, it's the 30 and 25 O-ring action figure Kickstarter coming to you first thing Monday.
Monday.
It's gonna be big.
I like the "So It Begins" bit here.
So it begins.
And so let's give a little backstory for the folks that maybe weren't around the last time you joined us.
Yeah.
It would have been 2023 the last time that you ran the campaign with your original characters.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about the Easy Kill 9 universe that 30 inhabits and what her role is, and yeah, just start there.
Yeah, so the idea of this world that 30 comes from is that somewhere in modern day, a plague, if you will, has broken out, and it's affecting people. It's called the Cleave. And what's happening is a certain part of the population are in effect becoming undead. They suddenly have mutations and things like this. They're acting like zombies. They're acting like vampires, werewolves, things like that. They're preying on people. Now, normally this would be, let's just go in and kill all of those. But in 30's world, you have governments and there's money and there's things changing hands. So that world politics has allowed for these former people to have certain rights. You can't just go and exterminate them. And even to the point where if they kill someone else, it gets bound up in the courts. Like, well, yeah, but this is kind of what their DNA is telling them to do. It's a mess, right? So you have these undead hordes floating around, and the geopolitical climate is that we somehow need to learn to cohabitate with them. But cities are just being swallowed up by this thing, and people are afraid to go out at night. It's like a horror movie in a lot of these major cities where these outbreaks have happened. So governments and military aren't doing anything, but some private investors and shadowy underworld figures have said, we've got to do something about this. And paramilitary groups have started to spring up. And they're loosely called the undead operators. These paramilitary operators that aren't part of the government, but they're specialists in killing bad guys. And they're going into cities and small groups, and they're trying to take care of this problem under the radar. And so 30 is part of a group. This character's name is 30. You see the 30 on her jersey. She's part of a group that has 9 operators in it, and they call themselves Easy Kill 9. They're a subset of the broader undead operator militias that are secretly operating in various cities. So 30's on Easy Kill 9, and she is the advanced reconnaissance undercover agent. She goes into a city first whenever there's a big problem, if there's a swell of zombies or there's vampires or there's lycanthropes or whatever else is undead in that city. If it's really become a problem, they send her in and they say, map out the city for us, find out where they're holed up at, find out where we should do the ops at and stuff like that. So she goes in undercover in various modes. Here you see her in kind of her Chicago gear as a skateboarder with a backwards cap and stuff like that. And she does the recon and she sets up the op. So that's the tidbit of lore for this. If G.I. Joe is sort of like, terrorists, have sprung up and we've got to deal with them, the undead operator world is that there are sort of like literal monsters in the street, but armies and politicians and police have their hands tied because of geopolitical drama. And so we need these operators that go in and save people and get something done. But again, they're outlaws, they're criminals. They don't have any legal right to do this. It's kind of the opposite of like a G.I. Joe in that regard, that Joe is sanctioned to a certain degree, but the undead operators are this very secretive underground organization that's taking it upon themselves to try to bring back some balance to the world order, if you will.
And 30 does want everyone to know that despite her nickname, she is only 26.
Well, no one knows their age. So these operators, their entire history and everything has been scrubbed. I mean, they're just as shadowy as it can be. So no one really knows how old some of these people are, or what their names are, or any of that kind of stuff.
There you go. Trying to add actual lore to my dumb joke.
It's an interesting thing, though, the idea, because obviously over time, as this toy line gets funded and people get toys, some of those questions are going to come like, well, where's she from? We don't know. Well, how old is she? That stuff's just not going to come with these characters. You're going to have to learn about them through the comic books and the lore and the stuff, piecemeal that comes out. So it should be kind of intriguing that way.
And so now 30 was one of the characters that was part of your first couple of campaigns.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately they did not fund. They did not go through Kickstarter. But 30 was kind of the string that carried through. She was the character that everybody talked about. I remember even saying to you on the show that this is perhaps the one character in the group that looks the most like a G.I. Joe, even though she's probably the least military looking of the bunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so why do you think that is? Talk about your connection with this character and why you think that she landed.
Well, this character is super interesting, and I don't always unpack this for people, but I mentioned it in another stream and people really thought it was something. So to be honest with you, I was in the middle of designing this very like quasi-military ghost recon looking Easy Kill 9 team. And I had 5 or 6 of them designed. I hadn't designed 30 yet. And I had a dream one night where I saw an action figure in a blue jersey with blonde hair and the number 30 on the torso. And I woke up and said, that's going to be one of these figures. She was incredible. And so I gave her khakis and gave her the skater shoes and fleshed her out the rest of the way. But this figure is different from the others because quite honestly, she came from somewhere, way back in the middle of my noodle, in the middle of a dream sequence. And as soon as I woke up, I said, that's the one. She's got to be front and center. And you see, I made her the advanced recon, kind of the face of the whole group, gave her the sunglasses and the mystery and all that type of stuff. So whatever resonated with me in that dream that made me hop right up and design this character seems to be resonating with other people as well. That she's just got a little bit of savoir-faire to her. She just hits with people. She's the girl next door, but she's also a deadly killer. You can look at her and see street smarts and brains and charm and everything all at the same time. And I think her versatility, while still packing a little bit of punch, just has people like, yeah, I can get down with that figure. That figure could roll with all my Joes. She could roll with, Action Force. She could, she fits in all over the place because she's kind of got a whole spectrum of stuff going on with her.
All right. You can never, the guy who did Bloom County, Berkeley Breathed.
Yeah.
He read something once that has stuck with me. And that, the show ran, or rather the strip ran for several years before he created Opus.
Okay, yeah.
And then, Opus just kind of came in and it turned from this being this wide cast of characters. Essentially, the strip turned into Opus.
Yep.
And it's just because you can't decide when your main character walks through the door.
Bingo.
It just happens. It just happens. And I think that's kind of what you encountered here with 30. I see a lot of that just boiling down here. And so we got you sent some photos here. We've got some of 30's loadout here. We as far as what she's carrying around, pistol wise and her armament. Obviously light gear because she's the advanced scout. She's trying to look normal.
Yeah.
She is not the type that runs in with the heavy machine gun. She is not piloting the plane.
Yeah, she doesn't have her pilot license actually. If I'm just giving that bit away.
Or you be that way then. But sorry, the live chat's doing funky things over here. So needed to make sure that was okay. It wasn't like the live chat isn't doing funky things. The people are not. It's more computer side of things because that's how things are going to go tonight. That's how it's going to go. So talk about the campaign. How are you translating this character? And I understand this is the one figure is it for the campaign.
That's it for the funding goal, right? As with any campaign, if things go gloriously well, who knows what stretch goals and things may be planned, etc. But I can tell you it all does revolve absolutely around this character and this toy. The thing about her being undercover is obviously this isn't her only outfit. And I'm not saying we're planning more than one version of her, because I think we landed on a really good look right here. But if we wanted to mix things up a little bit, we could, right? All that stuff is sort of pie in the sky. What if this campaign did really well? But it is the one figure. It's 30. She comes already, she's kind of preloaded with some accessories that have already been modeled, but we're going to pitch some other ideas in the campaign. There's a comic book that's under development that will be a one-shot. That's about 25 pages of full color, comic background and lore for 30 on an op in the city of Chicago. So we've got some lore stuff going on there. We've got some potential for additional accessories. We've got stickers. We've got a sticker pack. There's a bunch of different add-ons. I don't want to go down the whole list right now. But the campaign visually, I think, will be really fun. I've been working on it every day, literally for about 3 months, kind of boiling it down and deciding visually what it should look like and stuff. There's a lot of O-ring campaigns that you all have seen. You know what I mean? You guys have seen an O-ring campaign. You've seen two of the ones, that I've already had a hand in. It was important for me that this one looked and felt like the world was a little bit more realized, like there was a little bit more intrigue and story. You've seen 30. She's modeled, and people generally, as we say, tend to really like, yeah, I like that. So I said, well, how can this campaign then be something that takes it a little bit further and gives people sort of more of her than just, oh, look at her from this point of view. Oh, look, the figure's knee bends. Oh, look, there's a skateboard. How can the campaign itself be a little bit more compelling, offer a comic book, offer some stickers in addition. And there's a bunch of kind of one-off items that exist as well that I don't want to talk about. That'll be, one of a kind. If you back that particular thing, you're the only person in the world that's going to have one of those type of things. So I spent some time thinking, what about people that just really love this character? They're going to back it. They're going to get 1, 3, 5, 30 figures or whatever. But what else might they like that, kind of rotates around her world? That would be cool to offer in a campaign. So there's some of that stuff going on there too.
And we do have the link to your preview page. It goes live as it says there on the 25th. But we do have the link to the preview page down below in the description. We had it in there a couple weeks ago too. Thanks for watching.
Very cool.
Will you be offering a special discount for a 30 pack of 30s?
There's not a 30 pack, but there are. I mean, if you want a lot of 30s, you can get a lot of 30s on this campaign. And yes, if you back anything over 2, if you get 3 or more, you're going to get some dollars off of your campaign contribution there. So yeah, there's ways to get some discounts and that type of thing in here too. And
so with one figure as your funding goal.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that funding goal is going to be pretty reduced from most of the projects that you see. Now, mind you, you're getting there in smaller increments, but it's still, if there are enough people to find, this number of figures, what is the funding goal to make this a reality for you?
So we're going to launch on Monday with a funding goal of $6,900.
Okay. Which, truthfully, for knowing enough folks now that have done molding and design and things like that for O-ring figure projects, that's not covering your costs.
No, I mean,
so just so people know, it does not cost $6,900 to develop one O-ring figure. It actually costs far more than that. Right. Just so, again, I just wanted to paint that picture for folks out there. That is very low for the amount of work that has already been completed on this one figure.
Yeah, for sure. The beautiful thing is I do a whole lot of it myself. So, if you back this campaign, you're not padding anybody's salary. And I think a lot of the ORAN campaigns are like this. I don't think it's particular to me. You know, it's a passion project. We really want to get this toy in people's hands, you know, so it's as slim and as trim as it can be to, you know, to make sure that the toy gets there without, you know, I'm not making any money off this, guys, and I've been working on it for 2 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's countless hours that go into this type of thing, and that's not a flex or anything. I'm just saying, like, people have responded to this toy. I want to make it happen. That's why you go to Kickstarter, right? Let's come together as a community and band together and see if we can't make this thing work so that we all can be a part of it, because it's a toy that we all just want to have. So it's not a money thing at all for the campaign. It's really like, how trim can we be? And just a bunch of people give, you know, work and stuff that they don't necessarily get paid for. Like, and in the spirit of that, the fellow who modeled 30 and did her accessories, and this will be mentioned in an update in the campaign, reached out to me last week and said, what else can I give? I just want to see this work. And I said, hey man, like, I'm not getting paid. I don't have any more to give you right now. He said, no. What else can I model for free so that this thing can go? And I said, well, we're going to need some additional accessories. I'm thinking 4 or 5. Can you do one of them? He said, I'll do them all.
Okay.
Just send me what you want. And I said, well, the community is going to vote on it. He said, well, once they've taken that vote, you send it to me and we're going to get it modeled. It won't cost you anything. So people have been really great about this thing in terms of, you know, let's get this figure made and let's get it produced and let's get it out there to the people that are back in the campaign. So it's cool like that.
Yeah, no, it's always good to find folks who believe in you, right? You don't. You know, you're the face, you're the voice behind this, but you've got a support staff too. So it's excellent. So again, keep an eye out for that. Chad, is there anything else that we need to know here?
No, that Monday morning, the campaign is going to kick off. We've got about 40 people, which is way more than the past 2 campaigns, that have gone in there and clicked that little remind me thing. I'd like to see that hit, you know, about 80 or 100 people before Monday morning. So if you grab that link down there and you haven't clicked the reminder yet, go click it. If you think this looks cool, send it to 2 or 3 people and say, hey man, there's no harm. It's free to click that reminder button so you get an alert when this thing goes off, you know, on Monday morning on the 25th. And I think the campaign is going to tickle a lot of people. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. There's a lot of fun art in there. I don't want to give anything else away, but the campaign itself, I think, is pretty cool and different from the others. So I'm excited to get people's first reactions, you know, on that when it goes off. So click that remind me button and we'll get going on Monday.
I don't know if I've done that yet. So that reminds me to go click the button.
Do that.
Hey man, I'm doing some other PR. You just
you kids, your voice.
Ultimately, someday someone will make the action figure of me, and it will have fist shaking action.
Yeah, with fist shaking action. Very cool.
It's going to be an offshoot of superpowers.
Right. Just hit a little button in the back, or
squeeze some legs together.
My legs together, and the little. You stinking kids. And then we've got the back of the card art promo shot, as I like to say.
That's not the back of the card art. I did a lot of things like this where I thought, man, what did toy like ads that on wrinkly old paper from the Sears Robot catalog,
right.
1983 look like? And they look like this. So I sat down and illustrated by hand and touched it all up in Photoshop and stuff. There is a bit of a retro vibe, you know, across the whole.
It does look like it came out of an old Toys R Us ad from the newspaper.
Yeah. I did my best to make it look like that. I was just trying to get people's attention again with a campaign that hits on a few different cylinders and has a little something for everybody. So, yeah.
Dak Nomad asking, would there be a possibility down the proverbial road for different scales?
Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask that. I've debated for a week whether or not to answer that question. I will simply say this, sir, all things are possible.
Right. Let's get one in the can here. And then we'll worry about what we can do with it next. That's for certain. Torpedo Mike, if anyone else has questions, this is the time. Torpedo Mike says, a Mike figure would need an alternate head with headphones, both with impressive hair sculpt. Well, I mean, I appreciate that. So
impressive hair sculpt is required for the
right.
Mike.
I do have to get trimmed up a little bit. I'm getting a little long here, but we'll be all right. Gotta get that back out of here. There we go.
Push that.
Never looks nearly as good with the headphones on. It kind of brings the weight.
It flattens your quaff, and that's
right.
Design flaw of headphones in general, I think.
Right, and it's not like it's this impressive sized thing, but it makes my head look weird because my head is weird. Thank God I have hair, because my head is a gnarled chickpea, and it's like a size 8 chickpea.
Oh
it's
my!
Terrible. It will. The monster. Thank God for this hair. That's Grandma Irizarry. That's her family entirely.
Yeah.
The other 3 main branches of the family tree, completely bald, absolute domes,
no hair.
But Grandma Irizarry, the Italians, they got hair, and that's where it ended up here. Look at Racktime Rob's head of hair. Look at that hair.
You guys have got great hair. I have hardly any, so I can't really. I can just sit here and be envious.
Well, that's why you're growing it out.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
Man, come on now. You're doing fine.
Now, actually, whenever I'm 50 years old, whenever I sit in a barber chair, if I have a lady style or something, it's the same thing every time. They're like, good grief, you've got the thickest hair. They will thin my hair at age 50. Like, we can't even cut this. I have a very thick, full head of hair at 50 years old, and I can't explain it because my dad and my mom's dad were all bald. I'm like, hey, it works for me.
All right, you got to dig deeper, man. The genes are back there somewhere.
Digging those genes.
Josiah Alcorn says the 125 backers from the retro figure campaign should be enough to fund this one, right?
I mean, enough. It depends on how hungry you guys are for. If everybody goes in there and gets 130 toy, no. But if you guys respond to some of the tiers and things that I've set up that offer some cool fun incentives with comics and stickers and, accessory packs and multiple 30s and stuff, absolutely. But my hope is that this campaign goes off on Monday, gets some legs under it, gets some ground under it, and organically the marketing tool of Kickstarter and the FOMO and the fact that people are flowing in there and we get near the funding goal, it's like the Snowcat, right? People go, I'm going to back this thing. This thing's totally going to fund. I'm going to back it. We're getting near there. And then we get funded, and then the campaign becomes a whole nother thing, right? Because the beauty of Kickstarter is sort of fund early and then roll out some surprises. And there are some surprises, right? So hopefully what we do is we get funded, and it's like, okay, we took care of that. What kind of legs does this thing have? What if we did this? Are you guys interested in this? What do you think about this? Because I've got a bunch of fun things planned out, that we haven't even talked about. So that would be the beauty of the Kickstarter, that it becomes a thing of its own and gets some legs under it. And we do some fun stretch goals, and we're not even concerned with the funding. We're more into, how much do you guys love this, and how many people who maybe aren't even really into toys can come to this campaign and help support it, because there's other things there that are all about 30, but it's not a toy. And they're like, well, I want that. I mean, I'll just back that at, so many dollars or whatever. And you get a whole lot of people in the campaign just really loving it and vibing on it. And then we don't have to worry if, so many people are enough, because the campaign's just doing really well. That's been the approach I've taken to this particular one. Everyone's feedback over 2 years into, I was on Beta Ray Bob's stream a month or so ago, and someone said, I don't really collect O-ring, but this comic book you're talking about sounds great. So I said, okay, let's offer all kinds of different ways to get the comic book and stuff. So we have a lot of that stuff going on. And again, once we get funded, even more tiers and ways to back and ways to add on things, because a campaign needs to be really organic like that. Right. It's a great toy, and I've worked hard to accessorize it properly, so to speak.
Yeah, getting past that first tent pole is an important one, because after that is when you start to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. I do think we're going to fund. I'm really quite confident this will find funding. The dream would be, can it do really well and allow us to get the community involved, to actively, shape what some of her accessories should be. Should she just have one skateboard? Because I think she should have like 3, and they should be in different sizes, and they should have different decals on, that kind of stuff, to be able to present some of that stuff to the community. So here's 30, here's her board, here's her gun. You love this, but the campaign's doing well. what do you guys think? What else goes with this? And I've already put a lot of that stuff into it, but it'd be great if it became this really organic thing where the community was actually helping craft sort of how well the campaign did and what all was involved in it. So that's the approach I took. All
right. Excellent. Is there anything else that we need to know? Like if I am just prepared on Monday morning to fire in and pledge, what am I expecting to budget for this?
So if you just want 130, you can come with about $30, which just rounded out really nicely, right? I'm gonna drop $30 on this campaign and walk away with a 30 with her skateboard and her gun and cool, right? If you want 30 in the comic book, now you're doing $37 type of thing. If you want 30 in the comic book and the accessories and all these things have their own tiers, or you can just pick a tier and just add on piecemeal, the type of stuff that you want to do with it. So, if you just say, I just want the comic, you can come just get the comic. That's the first tier, $7. You get a full color printed comic book, and I really think you're going to like it. There's some glimpses of the art in there, and everyone seems to really respond to it quite a bit. So, you can come with $10 and walk away with something cool from the 30 campaign. If you really like it and you want to see it do well, you can go in there and find a $300 tier and be very happy with the toys and the accessories and the books and stuff you're going to get. The one thing I learned from a past campaign is the worst thing you can do is have people excited about it and they can't give you as much money as they want to give you.
Right.
Yeah, and that's not a thing that's not no greed. That's from me looking at past campaigns and talking to other people where they're like, man, people came to my campaign. Like, no, I wanted to drop $200 on this, and your highest thing's $100 with a $10 add-on. That's no way to run a campaign, So I said, what if people come in here and they just really want to see this thing get funded and they love the toy and they don't care if they're buying 9 of them, let's do a thing where you can buy 9 of them and get 2 signed comics and this other one of a kind thing. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in there as well.
All right. Excellent. We'll go from there. We'll start to pull this into the station, man. You're the guest this week, so who do we want to shout out to?
My dad, actually. So my original father and my dad died in 2006, but my stepdad's always really kind of been my dad and always been there for me. And he had a macular something in his eye the other day, and I was looking at I don't know, injections, infusions, and that type of stuff. So I say, hey, Dad, man, it's all going to be good. Don't get down on those eye injections. And shout out to you, Dad.
All right. Yeah, that's always eye stuff always weirds me out.
Yeah.
Right. I think Roger. We talked about Roger before with his, he's saying that he has to get a shot in his eye every 3 months.
Right. That's what he's doing. Right?
Oh, that would be the end of me. I'd be like, just take it out now.
Yeah. He can't see out of it even right now as it is. So then he's got to get a shot to stop him from going worse while they figure out how to fix it. I don't know.
However.
Yeah, moms be stressing out like, so, it's going to be okay, guys.
How was that again? All right. Just checking.
Yeah, that's what she does. I've got her down. That's exactly what it looks like and sounds like.
Right down to the beard. No, that's not.
She shaves hers. She's never going to see this. Don't send it to her.
Keeps it clean.
Yeah.
We're sorry, Mrs. LaForce. We apologize. But yeah. I couldn't do it.
He don't like it very much. You don't like it.
Yeah, I don't imagine so. No, I don't. Do you have anybody else you'd like to shout out to?
Electric Berry is the modeler that worked with me on the campaign that wants to help with the accessory. Shout out to that bro, because he's a beast and a champion, and I love everything he does. Craig from, I can never remember Craig, I'm sorry, Zika Toys, who actually funded the initial modeling, production, and painting for the 30 prototype that's featured in the campaign there. Shout out to that guy for really liking the project and being awesome. And he's the first person that'll be reimbursed, for the money that he spent when this campaign gets funded, because that's been long overdue. He's a great guy, and they're doing great stuff over there, by the way, at I think Giant Leap Toys is who he's been partnering with. They did the big space. Anyway, shout out to those guys. Check out Giant Leap Toys. They've got some O-ring stuff that's coming up sometime soon as well. Shout out to you guys for having me repeatedly on this program. It's truly it's a joy, and I count it a privilege every time, because you guys are my bros, and it's always so fun to hang out with you. So I probably forgot about 20 people, but those are a few well-deserved shout outs right there.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. It's always good to have you. We was always, after the last campaign, I know you were pretty down, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to ever feel like I was encroaching on the space that you needed to recover and figure out what you were going to do next, and then before you know it, it's 2 years later, and I feel bad that we didn't touch base before this.
We're all right. It's sometimes it's good to be down, because you go, this should work. Everybody wants this to work. I'm just doing the math wrong. Something, and you got to take that time to pull back and be like, there's a formula here. What is it? And I'm hoping that this time we've kind of got that, and everyone's really going to enjoy this thing. So,
right. Yeah. Right. No, I remember from talking to you in the aftermath. It's like I there's something here. I'll figure it out.
Right.
And I'm glad you do, and I'm glad we get to be a part of helping you to get that out there.
Yeah. Thanks again.
But Rack Time Rob.
Yes.
Who you shouting out to?
Hey, well, shout out to Chad. Thanks for coming on tonight.
A pleasure.
Said I've bookmarked the campaign.
Thank you.
We'll be ready on Monday.
Appreciate it.
And shout out to the studio audience. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.
Jab along in Toy City says, shout out to perseverance and trying again. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's how stuff gets done.
Right? If shit always worked on the first try, how boring would the world be?
I'm saying.
All this fucking success. Myth.
Heck that success. I'm sick of it.
Screw that noise.
I'm
what the hell am I even saying anymore?
That's late.
Right? What else you got, Rack Time Rob?
That's it.
All right. I'm going to give a shout out before I forget. Give a shout out to Jonathan Robinson, who was kind of a regular hookup on my attempts to conquer the world of beachheads. I got a file card on that one. I got one in pretty good shape with a backpack from him, and then one who is joining the squad. He's a little broken down here, so we'll cover up. But
pixelate.
Right. But again, they not, he didn't give them to me, but certainly going for less than market rate on those. So I appreciate the hookup on those, Jonathan. Our friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys, get a shout out there. We'll sing the theme song real quick. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys.
It's all right. You're a little flat there, but otherwise it's not bad.
Like I brought something. I felt like I made it better.
Right. It was kind of going like a round.
Oh yeah, like
row your boat kind of thing.
Barber shop kind of. Yeah. Okay. We need a little
throwing out success means an empty magazine. I think we're flashing back to some harder times.
Right. I got a magazine. It's got pages.
That's not the one. Full Metal Jacket.
But I'm gonna reiterate Rack Time Rob. Shout out to our studio audience. Thank you so much for joining us week after week. It's a lot of the same names. We're always happy to see some new names. So if you're out there and you're just not chatting, by all means, throw it out there. We don't we certainly don't discriminate. If you got the best line, it'll get on the screen. We're that kind of comedy. But to the folks who catch us on replay every week, we appreciate you too. You count for just as much. However you're watching us, though, make sure that you are going down and doing all that cool YouTube stuff. As we said earlier in the show, it's all free. Doesn't cost you a thing. You just the button's down there below, Chad. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We've been a little lax in the like button lately. So let's kind of bring those back up. They do quite a bit. If you can't financially support us, that's the thing you can do most to help us out there is click those buttons and maybe leave a big boy comment down below. We talk about a lot of stuff. If you've got opinions on what we say, if you think we're full of crap, just be respectful. We'll certainly talk to you about it down in the comments down below. Who else we got, Rob? Who am I forgetting?
Shout out to all the Snowcat backers, because now Snowjob gets to live in the back like much Zap Rousdower.
Right. It's been a tough couple of years for Snowjob. He's just thrilled to have a bivouac cover.
Yeah.
To keep him out of the elements.
True that.
This is getting bad. Anyways, give a shout out, of course, to our audio listeners. I know I'm behind, so eventually you'll hear this. But yeah, we do our best. Sometimes we run a little late.
Stay alive. We will find you.
Right. To Chad for coming on. Thank you again, sir. We appreciate you. You were in the. I appreciate that you gave me a launch date as far in advance as you did, because that meant I could actually plan an episode more than 2 days beforehand.
I like to get out in front. Yeah, it's helpful to be prepared.
Just ask Phil. Sometimes I don't plan until late. And while we're talking about planning in advance, let me throw out some programming notes for the folks at large. Next week there will be no show. Next week I have to travel for work, which is strange and unusual for me. But unfortunately, on Wednesday night, I ain't gonna be here to do a show. And Racktime Rob, he don't do the computer stuff. He needs somebody else to hit the buttons.
I can't understand the email machines.
And so there's that. So next week there is no program. The following week, the first what is that? What is that? September 3rd?
Yeah.
There is no show on September 3rd.
No show.
As Rob and I are taking the long Labor Day weekend, we're going to visit some family. So for two weeks following, no new programming. I will try and get something together to just fill some space on the channel, keep people tuning in. Maybe we'll get something out of the vault, perhaps. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So when it says on the thumbnail "last days of summer," it wasn't just whistling at you. It's really the last one we're doing for the summer. So
no one will notice the rerun. Don't panic, kids. The Falkland Islands have just been invaded. I repeat, the Falkland Islands have just been invaded.
Oh God. Classic Simpsons was the best. I mean, every bit done on the Krusty the Clown show we could use as a bumper, and they would apply. Anyways, so that's all we got. So that's all we have. We will be back September 10th. I guess that's what it is.
Yes.
That sounds so far away, but it'll be on us before you know it.
Yes.
We'll be back live September 10th at any rate. Keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, we'll try and get something up in the meantime to keep everybody tided over. But until then, stay safe, as our friend Vagon likes to say. And if you can't, be careful. We'll catch you next time on our next episode of What's on Joe Mind on September 10th. Yojo?
Jojo.
I'm hitting buttons.
I'm hitting the Kermit the Frog.
Thank you.